Now the sound on this is a little messed up right off the bat. So adjust your volume after 1 minute and it'll be okay throughout the rest of the video. Remember, 1 minute, don't fool with the volume for 1 minute, then adjust it to where you can hear it okay. Thank you. We got a 310C John Deere with a flange housing bolt broke off in the flange, or in the housing. We're going to heat it up and let it cool and try to get it out. Broken bolt. I bought this Back-Hoe at an auction. Now we're going to heat this thing up, and you never use any oil or grease on these caps. Oxygen, and they do not mix. It will blow up and kill you. So never oil, never grease them. Take a wire brush if you want to, but do not oil them. So always clean the cobwebs out. Anyway, I bought this at an auction several years ago, and it had a little bit of vibration when you would drive it. So I walked around, I fooled with it for a long time, and finally just lucked out and spotted the bolt broke off on the drive shaft up on the flange. So it was letting it. It's the drive shaft that goes to the front four-wheel drive. And it's a really hardened bolt, like an Allen bolt. I think they're like a number 10 or 12, and terribly, terribly hard to drill. So what we're going to do is we're going to use a annealing process, in which science dictates that if you heat something and cool it enough times, it will get softer, finally. And so that's what we're going to do with this. We're going to heat the flange and the bolt. The bolt is inside the flange. We're going to heat them both, let them cool down, and eventually it should get softer. When I worked over at Darby Barge and Railroad, we built couplers for the railroad boxcars. And that's what the cars connect with. And we had a big flat, I guess you call it a flatbed railroad car, and it would fit inside this oven. And we would build these flanges or these couplers, and then they'd put them in there and heat it for 3 days, and then turn the gas off and let it cool for 4 days. And that was the annealing process. And then we're going to try that here. And basically, we're just going to heat it up. Let it cool down. I'm going to do it once a day because I was busy with other stuff. And then once we can file it without too much trouble, we should be able to drill it. If we can file it, we can drill it. And so then we'll try to get as centered as we can on it. And maybe we can put a easy out in it or rethread it or something. The whole trick to this stuff is don't get in a big rush, in a big hurry. Take your time with it, and don't burn up your machine. You sure don't want to do that. Watch the grease, watch the oil, watch the gasoline, watch the diesel or gasoline tank, whichever one you're working with. So as it cools down, it should get softer. Yeah, I learned a lot when I went to welding school down at the old Manual High School up in Kansas City way back in the 60s and 70s. Had a teacher named George Barton, and he was a welding inspector for Travelers Insurance Company, and he taught us a lot. He was a good man, Finally, he died of cancer from, he got into something, I don't know what, on that job of his. And it wound up killing him, actually. OSHA wasn't near as prevalent back in those days as it is now. There's our new bolts and flange kit. Those are Allen's, and they're rated either number 10 or 12. Which makes them exceedingly tough. They're really, really tough, those Allen bolts are. And we've got it raised up now so that we can get underneath it. Let's try the file. Okay, it filed. So if we can file it, we can drill it. Now, it was a little tough to see back in there. I don't know what happened here. Something just went black. I got no idea what. Something ain't right, is it? There, we're back. Okay, whatever it is. So anyhow, we're getting a little bit of chips, which means that it is soft enough to drill now without ruining the drills. If you want to try something really tough, find you an old 3-rail fence post like you drive with the post hole driver thingy, and try drilling that. Now that will test your wind. You can burn up a lot of drill bits on one of those. Best thing with them is a cutting torch and a welder. I found out the hard way. So anyway, we're going to try to drill it in the middle, and then we're going to try and easy out. It probably ain't going to work. We'll give it a shot, see what happens, and try to keep it as centered as we can on the thing. So here's our first easy out. With these, you got to take your time with the dang things. Don't break them. These things are tough. If you break one of them off, you're in trouble. I'll tell you right now. They're a bear to get out if you break one of them. So anyway, that didn't work, so we're going to go to a bigger hole. And you do need pretty good bits. These little battery-powered drills are wonderful, I'll tell you. They are wonderful, man. So here we're trying to use the heat expands theory to expand the flange away from the bolt. Maybe it'll break loose and we can put an easy out and get it out. Now, it was probably kind of silly to even try it, but you try everything on this stuff and it either works or it don't. So here we go. Will it work? No. It will not work. So we'll get that thing out of there without breaking it, cool it down just a little bit to save our drill bits a little bit, and go back to drilling. Let it cool down for a while. So anyway, here we're finally getting somewhere. Here we got a 1/4 inch bit. Looks a lot bigger on here, but it's not. It's still a 1/4 inch. So this was an old set I had stuck back someplace. It still drilled pretty good. There we go. So now we're through it. So now we'll go to our next size up. Now these take, I think these take 11/32 drill if you're going to thread one. 11/30, and that'd be a 10/32 at 5/16. So the next size up would be the actual size to use. We'll try this here with our tap, see what happens. Probably nothing. Nope. Okay. There's our 11/32. And there's our easy out. See what we can do with it. That didn't work. The easy out did not work, so we're going to try to thread it. And I stuck some kind of a punch in there and got a little bit of metal out. And now we'll try our 5/16 24 NF, which is National Fine Thread, as opposed to NC, which is coarse. And that's a standard old bolt off the shelf will be a coarse thread. You got to go to the fine thread section if you need a fine thread. Of course, we bought that because that's what it takes. So anyway, now I'm not able to see when I'm doing this, and that's why I'm not getting oil where it belongs. I'm kind of blind underneath there. Really, there's some of the metal that came out with the tap. So here we go here, and it looks like we've pretty much got it made now. This is where you start breathing easier because it's going to work. There, the Allen bolt fits perfectly in there. There's our drive shaft. Now, I'd never done one of these John Deere Back-Hoe front drive shaft before, so I'm kind of new to it. Sucker's fairly heavy. You know, I'm a great grandpa, so it's not all that it's not all that easy for me. So kind of grunting there, but I'm going to slim down one of these days. Doctor tells me I need to, but anyway, there we go. And all right, it went. I was tickled pink when that happened. So a little bit of, now there's a big, people argue on whether you should grease these or not. They say you need to, if you grease them, you got to put more torque. If you put them in dry, you put less torque, and I don't know. I just believe in getting them on there tight. These Allen bolts, they need to be tight, and you do not want that drive shaft falling out and breaking or coming loose and breaking and going through somebody's windshield. My God, kill somebody. That would be a horror stories without end. So the trick on this kind of stuff is get it tight. Use lock washers. Use new stuff. Never ever take a chance. This stuff will kill you dead. It's heavy. It's dangerous. If you don't know what you're doing, don't fool. Basically, the bucket and that stuff fall on you, you're done. I'll tell you right now, you'll never get well. So anyway, fit up good there, and here we're gonna move it. And you're probably sharper than me because I didn't fill that tire. I missed that. You probably saw it. It shows you're a lot smarter than I am probably. But anyway, we're gonna back it up, and sucker does start good. Really good machine. Got it from Ernie Sourball's Farm Auction. Well, Ernie was a good person. Good auctioneer, liked him. Good friend. So anyway, so now this great grandpa is going to give you a couple songs on his old guitar. So hope you enjoy them. Thanks for watching this video.